All right, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about a few different ways you can elevate your mood with your space and improve your mental health. This is something I have a lot of personal experience with. I feel greatly impacted by my environment, and so I spend a lot of time trying to make this space feel like a sanctuary away from the busyness of the world outside. And so I'll start this video by saying what might work for me may not work for you, and I'll try to point out the differences there as to how you could approach solving these problems. So to kick us off, let's start by talking a little bit about some ways that you could improve your space today with little to no cost in order to improve your mental health in your space. So for starters, this one may seem really straightforward, but in fact, I've seen that a lot of folks don't follow this in their day-to-day lives, and I understand why, because it takes that next step, that extra step in your daily routine. It's opening your blinds and raising your blinds up, pulling the curtains out, so that you can experience natural light within your space. And this is so important because so many psychological studies show that by getting natural sunlight in our eyes, walking out into the sunlight, we will get benefits. So by bringing that light in, you will experience some of those benefits, although probably not the full effect of getting outside and taking that walk. But this is one step you can take every day to make your space brighter, happier, bring the outside in, especially for someone like me who works from home. It's really important that your space is giving to you, and so this is how to make it happen. The second thing you can do is you can replace the curtains and window treatments you have with something a little bit more sheer in your public spaces to let more light in. So what I mean by that is that curtains that you put inside of your home will oftentimes have a heavier fabric, and this is great for bedrooms where you want to keep light out. However, in the public spaces in your home or in the space where you're working, if you're not also sleeping there, think about incorporating a sheer curtain that can allow more light to come in the space, and this will also reflect light, which will make your space feel brighter. So a curtain that I'm using in my home that I love, that has a cult following, is the long IKEA curtain, and this one is fantastic because you get a little bit of extra height as well, and it will bring a lot of natural light in to the space. So on that same theme of the bringing the light into the space and why that's so important is the next piece, which is choose a pink color that reflects light and brings more light into your space. So at this point, we're playing tricks with our eye. We really want to make our space feel brighter and like natural sunlight is coming in. And with that in mind, we can pick paint colors that reflect more light. So to reflect more light in your space, if the color that you choose has some white incorporated in it, then it will be more likely to reflect light. So if you're thinking about the spectrum of a color, let's say you're really interested in playing around with a pink room. I think pink rooms are fabulous, and I'm considering a pink paint for one of my bedrooms to achieve this pink room. If you are looking for a cozy, darker space, you would lean towards a color that is much more saturated, like a salmon, or definitely on that more coral end of the spectrum. If you are looking to bring in more light, you're gonna go more for that lighter pink cloud-like look, and that's gonna feel very natural in the space and bring a ton of light in. So one isn't better than the other. It's more so about mood. If you're looking for a brighter, lighter, happier space, pick a light color that reflects light, and that's going to bring more of that light in. It's such a huge element to our mental surroundings, and it goes back to the father of our modern architecture, Le Corbusier, at the Bauhaus school. He taught the importance of light in a space for psychology, and with time, science has proven this out again and again. So that wraps up the tips for bringing light into the space. And we're gonna move on to the next, which is there are certain ways, like a volume, you can turn up your happiness in a space by incorporating sentimental items to you. So if you think about your space and you see all of these amazing Instagram images and you notice they sort of have this generic look and feel, after a week about staying in that place, you're gonna feel like you're living in an Airbnb. It's not gonna feel like your own. And so what makes someone's home so special and brings meaning into their life in a deep way is bringing in art items and artifacts that are from their family. So I'll point out a few pieces behind me, which is all three of these pieces of art have come in through family or have been something that my husband Sam brought into the relationship. And one very special piece is a poem that Sam's aunt wrote for us for our wedding, and of course we have it framed here. It's very meaningful to us. So every time I see and I take a moment to be mindful in my space and check out these items I've curated and hung on the wall, it reminds me of all of the other connections with others I have in my life. And I want to give you that as well. I want you to feel that meaning from your space, so that as you're spending time in your space, it's an elevation of your mood rather than bringing you down. And this is really the tip of the iceberg. There are so many different ways that we can approach bringing in items that make us happier to our space. And I'm going to be covering them in a series here on YouTube called Spaces to Tune Your Mood. So definitely check that out. That's what I'll cover today as far as how to elevate your mood with your space. And last thought here I'll add is that if you want to follow along on this journey of me building Rachael Petrie Interiors, I am launching a new product very soon. So to follow along with that journey, you can check me out at rachaelinteriors.com or on Instagram or TikTok at Rachael Petrie Interiors. And thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time.